The following screencast is to show you how to begin operating your company. And you'll see when you get started the screen you'll see right here. It's got corporate citizenship, sales forecast, plant capacity, branded production, branded distribution, internet marketing, wholesale marketing, celebrity endorsements, and private label operations. I try to keep these as quick as possible just to kind of stay on the focus. But we're of course going to start with corporate citizenship, and you can see the descriptions right here, how the screen works. By the way, the decisions I make are not necessarily the correct ones. In fact, I probably will try to focus on stupid choices. But for instance, green material, sure, why not? You can do anything to your company that you want. Recycle boxes, energy efficiency, oh yeah, let's go for it. Charitable contributions, don't be so cheap, for God's sakes. Better, okay. Training, yeah, all employees. By the way, every time you choose something, whether it's diversity program, there are costs to it. You can see I've just squandered or appropriately spent $21 million a year money. Incidentally, generally you start off with about $250 million, and the question is, how quickly can you turn that into more? I've had companies worth well over $1 billion once the game was completed. Sales forecast screen. This is one of those screens that really gives you a 30,000 foot view of your company and a little bit regarding other companies in the market. I assume that you've already gone through the competitive intelligence report and the footwear industry report. Those are your important reports. But you can also get a lot of information off of the branded sales forecasting screen. For instance, right here is the information regarding your internet market and what you're charging. Why don't provide free shipping, 250 models. Again, I'm just shooting from the hip here. And let's sell for $80 per pair rather than $75. That's simply the default when you start the game. You know, there are a bunch of other decisions that you can make here, but also all of these decisions are presented in the following screen, so I won't spend a lot of time with it. What I will spend a little bit of time with is, for instance, if you want to clear the inventory that didn't sell, this is the only screen where you can do that. Forgive that. And for instance, I can clear 75% of the inventory in North America. Europe, Africa, I'll clear 100%. In Asia Pacific, I'll clear 25%, so on and so forth. Again, arbitrary decisions that I'm making as kind of walking you through this. And it shows your total available capacity of the private label market and the like. Doing these, making these decisions truly at the front end is like taking a sip of water from a fire hose. You've got a whole bunch of decisions. However, take it screen by screen, and you should be in pretty good shape. Our first important screen is plant capacity and upgrades. And the question is, what kind of capacity do you want to bring to the market? Everybody starts out at the same exact spot. You can actually purchase other people's capacity by clicking on this link right here. I don't think anything's available, so I'm not even going to bother to click on it. Everybody starts out with the same situation. They've got 2 million pairs in North America. I'm sure that says North America. Yep, at their North American plant. And they're available 400,000 pairs of overtime in North America. Nothing at a Europe plant. Asia Pacific, You've got 4 million and in regular production and 800,000 in overtime, and you've got nothing at a Latin American plant. You can see that reflected down here. You can make upgrades to your plans. The first is to reduce the reject rates. Why not? Let's do that to your North American plant and your Asia Pacific plant. Notice you can only do one a year, so it takes that option out. Incidentally, also, if you make kind of a bonehead choice, the game is very quick to create a little bubble for you and find a nice way of saying you made a bonehead choice. You can build capacity if you want. Why don't we build capacity at our Europe Africa plant? I just clicked on that. You have to fill out all these different components. You know, for instance, capacity utilization, you're going to expect 100% as an optimistic, expected probably 80%, and pessimistic 60%. The SQ rating, number of models, selling price, wholesale, marketing costs, all those you need to identify your optimistic, expected, and pessimistic. And then when you're finished, you simply authorize. The next screen is our branded production, and I can already see our time is ticking away, so I'll even start to rush this a little bit. This is for superior materials, number of models, and you would set those for your plants. Notice these are grayed out because you have no production there. So you make all those decisions. You know, I want to make sure that I'm putting my full 2 million pairs to the market and 400,000 of overtime production. I'm going to do the same thing here just for illustration. And 800,000. Actually, I'm going to leave that 800,000 because if I leave it, it's available for my private label market. Okay, then going into branded distribution choices, and those will be right there. Not only do you produce them, but you've got to decide where you want to put them. And also notice, you know, I put 2 million plus the 400,000, but there's also rejects. And so you really don't get the 2.4 million pairs. And I'll just, for simplicity, I'll put 2 million pairs that I'm producing at my North American plant and distributing to North America. And then I want to put the rest of those 277,000. Notice how I made those two numbers equal perfectly. Notice that I'm red flagged here. There's an error. In other words, I've got to make that all work. You can see the SQ ratings down here. And again, it's a matter of moving all those to balance out effectively and address the needs of the market. You recall in the forecasting screen, I changed that from $75 to $80 per pair and allowed free shipping. I can change that right here if I want, in which I just did. Didn't we put it in at 250 pairs? Maybe I never clicked on that to solidify it. No, it won't allow it. Oh, the maximum is 200. That's why. See where it says maximum of 200? Follow the directions in the screen and it'll take you a long way in making sure that you make some of the correct choices. The next one is wholesale marketing. I'll just go over that real quickly. And these are your prices for all your different markets. Again, North American market, you're selling for $48 per pair. Advertising, 7 million. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, 7 million. The rebates, if you want, are $3. You can do whatever you want. And there are all those choices for whether it's North American, Europe, Africa, Asia Pacific, or Latin American market. The celebrity endorsements, I talked about this a little bit in the earlier screencast, but you can see all your celebrities. These are unsigned. I want to offer 500,000. Notice that it adds the zeros per year, so don't put in 500,000 because that would be 500 million. And for Peyton Manning, I'll put in 500,000 for each of them. What the heck? And priority 1, 2, and 3. So you can do that priority setting. There are a lot of things that you can do. I'll even put in a cap of 1 million here, just to make sure I don't spend too much. I can bid on all those, but I'm only going to spend a top amount of $1 million. And then private label is, again, that's your Kmart, your Target, those types of shoes. As you'll recall, I had left 800,000. That should say 800,000. I'm not going to go back and double check it. But if you leave production available, then it should provide it for the private label market right here. A little bit of an oddity. Again, you'll be playing around with these. How much do you want to provide those shoes to the market? At what cost per pair? And yeah, and that really is your last big screen. The key is that once you go into the decisions, you can go in, you can work, you can go back to your sales forecast screen, identify some of the important choices you make, and the key is to position your shoes, your company, financially, strategically, product-wise, in a way that makes the most sense. Again, this is a quick 12-minute screencast, and I hope it was of value to allow you to see how to fill out the information in each one of these different screens and to position your company to win the business strategy game.